Okay, so here's your van. We're gonna kind of go walk around it, show you how everything works. So first off, you'll see on your remote, you'll just push and hold the button until you see the door start to move. Once you hear the door pop, you can let go. Door's gonna open, van's gonna kneel down, and the ramp's gonna come out. To put it back in, you just push and hold the button until the ramp starts moving, let go, and everything's gonna close back up. There are several other ways to do this, but I'm going to show you those as we go along. Now, if you just want to walk up and put something in the van, you don't want the ramp out or anything like that, you simply pull the door handle. That will open the door and nothing else. You can also do this from the inside. You'll see the handle here. If you pull it, now it's going to close the door. You can also close the door by pushing the button, but that's only going to work for closing it. Again, if you push it to open it, you're going to run everything. So we're going to open everything back up again. Now you see the handle right here. You can just reach in, say van's in an accident, or the battery's dead, or the ramp just doesn't work. You can just reach in, grab that handle, and just pull out the ramp slowly by itself. You can also put the ramp back in the same way. That will simply just allow you to get in and out of the van if for some reason something's broken, anything like that. So you're never going to be trapped either in or out of the van because the ramp's not working. You always just reach down, push it slowly in, and pull it slowly out. And from the inside, you'll see this button here, and then this button here. You just push those, that's gonna do the opposite. That's either gonna open, close, whichever the van's not. Ramp, door, and kneeling system. I'm gonna go ahead and start the van now simply because we've run the ramp several times, and you can run it 7, 8, 9 times. You're not gonna really run the battery down, but for demonstration purposes, I like to have the van running so I don't run it down. Now, you'll hear the voice talking right now. That's letting you know that your easy lock is not in. Push and hold this button right here, and it'll turn off. I'm also going to show you how you can set it so this doesn't work. I don't know if y'all are using this or not. If you are using this system, then of course you'll have your chair locked in. It'll all work automatically. If you're not using this system, I'm going to lock it so it doesn't talk to you every time you turn the van on. You'll see this button here that we talked about, and this button here are all going to operate the door and the ramp like before. So we're going to open it with this button. Open the door, put the ramp out, kneel the van down. We're going to put it back up with the one up here. You'll see things do work a little faster also if the van's running. So I tend to tell people to try to get in the habit of having the van run when they do it. Just puts less strain on the whole system, but you don't have to. You will also see here, this is your kneel on and off switch. You really want to leave it on all the time. If for some reason you are next to a really tall curb and you know the curb is higher than what the ramps could be when it goes out, you can turn that off. I like to show people this because what happens is this gets bumped a lot of times. This will get bumped and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, my van's not kneeling anymore. And this is 99% of the time what happened. It just got bumped. So that's going to be on right there. One thing you want to watch on Toyota vans, you'll see this power door switch right here. You want to see orange. It's kind of confusing. Most people think this turns it on and off, but it's actually the other way around. This out is on and in is, oops, I'm sorry. Out is on. So if you can't see any orange right here, your power doors are not gonna work. If all of a sudden both of them quit working, again, this gets bumped a lot and all of a sudden it's like this and neither power doors are gonna work. And again, if you ever happen to operate them manually, this is how you turn it, the doors off to operate them manually. But again, always want to see a little bit of orange right there. I'm going to open the door back up again. You do have your controls for your rear hatch here and your driver's side door, which is also power. Again, those can also all be controlled by the remote control. You'll find on Toyotas that the remote control doesn't work if the van is running. So if the van is running, nothing on here is going to work. Your buttons don't work, your hatch buttons don't work. That's just the Toyota way of doing things. You will see in here all the owner's manuals for the factory parts of the van are in here. So if you have any questions on how any of the factory stuff work, all your owner manuals are right there. You have another glove compartment down here. In here is the owner's manual for the conversion. Again, any questions you have, you can find in here in this video, or you can always call me. Like I said, feel free to FaceTime me if you just can't figure out how anything is going to work. I'm going to kind of go over some of the, oh my gosh, this isn't working, here's why, that I get a lot of phone calls on. You'll see in here also is the owner's manual for the Easy Lock system. This is actually a little quick chart on how all this stuff in the van works. So more stuff that would actually go up here. More stuff for the audio system with the app and everything like that for your navigation and stuff. You will see on the van here a couple of questions or calls I get a lot of times on my handicap van. So the gas gauge is going to be a different gas tank. So when they do the conversion, the gas tank is moved to the back. They use the same sending unit, but so your gas gauge is not going to be quite as accurate. It may say you have 25 miles to go, you may have 5. So my mobility people tend to not ride around on empty, but I'm warning you ahead of time, don't. You're not going to run out of gas at 1/8 of a tank or anything like that, but it could be off as much as 20 miles on just part of the conversion. And so if your light is on, you have 20 miles to empty and your van dies, you just ran out of gas. So I get that panic phone call a lot. And so just try not to do that. I'm going to turn the van off for a second just to show you again on this system here. So if you're using this system, you'll hear when I push this button, that click. That's basically it's unlocking your chair. That will work also here and all. Neither one of these will work with the van running. Again, that's a safety thing. So if you're using that system, you have your chair locked in, you've got this chair at home, you have your wheelchair set right here. These won't work. And that just keeps somebody from pushing the button while you're driving down the road and all of a sudden your wheelchair is unlocked rolling around and all. But again, we're going to start the van up.
Stop. Chair not locked.
Push and hold this button.
Chair not locked. Warning. Lock deactivated.
And you'll see with the van running, this does nothing, this does nothing. And again, just so you know that. In the back here, you do have footrests here. So if you have a shorter person sitting in the chair, they do have an ability to not be doing. You will see your manual overrides for your ramp and your kneel here. So what these will do is, again, say the ramp is out, won't come in, you can push this button, and it'll bring the ramp in. Will not do anything else. Will not put the kneel up, will not shut the door. That's just a manual way to be able to put the ramp in and out on top of the other ways that we did it. So again, if for any reason, and that's basically just if, say, one of the van's running and has power but your ramp won't come out, this gives power directly to the motor. So this is just a manual override. Same thing with the kneel. It won't put the kneel down, but it will put the kneel up. You'll see the van's going up. So if, say, you've closed everything up but the van's still kneeled, you can always put it up this way. That noise you hear right there lets it know all the way up. So you just hold it till it gets to that point. Again, if we use this button to bring the ramp in, still won't shut the door. But we can just push this button here. It's going to bring the ramp in and shut the door right now. So this is your first manual way to put everything put the ramp in and out. And then if that doesn't work, you pull it in and out manually like I showed you earlier. So I'm gonna open this door. And again, if we do these handles like this, it does nothing but open the door. But I just want a little more light in here. So these are your straps for the wheelchair. What you're gonna wanna do is you'll wanna get these set so that when you bring your chair in, and again, I don't know if you're using a manual chair or a power chair, but whichever if you're parking here in the center, you're not using the easy lock system, then you'll just want to hook these. Don't hook it on the wheels. If it's a manual chair, always make sure you hook to the frame. Same thing with the power chair. They should have hook places on them. But what you can do is you can adjust these so that you can hook them lightly where they're still just a little loose. And then you use the ratchets up front to pull them tight. If these are all the way in, you reach it out and grab them. They come all the way out. They just ratchet and lock as they get pulled tight. And then you'll spin the ratchets on the deal up there to tighten them up. So once you got it hooked, you just spin this. That tightens them all up. Again, it's all the way in. Just grab it. If it's stopped, you need to release it. Push the little red button. That releases it. If you need to move these, which you will, because you want to put them where it's comfortable for you, you just pull up on this and slide, and it comes right out. You just put this here. If you're gonna have this chair out and use this, you'll see there's a strip up there. There's another one in the corner up there. You just move these around to where they work for you. You put them back in, you line up the holes, slide it till that pops in. That's all you have to do there. So I'm gonna remove this. So if you aren't using the easy lock, what I'm gonna do is, you'll see this right here. Basically works like a fifth wheel trailer. So this is gonna slide in. Don't have the best angle. So I'm going to lock this for you so that it's not talking to you every time, but I need something to get a better angle on it. So if you're using it on your chair, you're just gonna drive in, your chair's gonna slide in here just like a fifth wheel, trip this and lock it and all. So I'm gonna lock that for you so it's not talking to you every time you turn the van on and all. If you're taking this chair out, you'll see over here, you'll just remove this little stitch right here. There's a little collar, only goes one way. You'll see where it says top right there. You spin this collar to unscrew it. You'll see right here. If you're gonna take the chair out, you always wanna line this up. Basically, that just keeps you from running over it. It's not doing anything else but giving you a storage place for that. To take the chair out, you step on this little deal right here. So you step on that. The whole chair comes up. Now the chair's on wheels, you can roll it right out. Put it back in, you step on this one that's next to it. The chair pops back in, locks back into place. And again, if you're gonna park your wheelchair here, if you're using this, you'll use the easy lock. You have to have that bracket on your chair. If not, you can take these, move them here, and then up at the front. If you find that's in the way, because you're parking your chair there, anybody can take it out for you. Problem being, once you take it out, nobody really in Texas will reinstall it. That's why we leave them in. Those things are now up to almost $3,000, and once you take them out, you have to throw them away because nobody will put them back in. But power chair or the driver's chair also removable at the same time. Now, Toyota vans, for whatever odd reason, this is your seat belt that you'll use if you're riding in the back. So basically, you want to adjust this so it fits down firmly on your hip, just like your regular seat belting on the person in the wheelchair. If you have it on this side, you'll use the regular factory harness from this side to hook into here. We hook them up here just so they're not laying in the floor rattling. Again, you can move this around however you want it. On these, you simply pull up on this little black part here. Pull up on the black part to slide it, line the holes up to put it back, and slide its little black part so it pops in. Toyotas use a different size on the front, so you'll have, if you're using the front up here, this is the seat belt that you would use in the front. This would simply, again, just go in here, slide it in, and slide it into this locks. And I'll pull up on the black part to bring it out. But yeah, the seatbelt harnesses are different sizes from front to middle, so you have to have two different ones. But that's tucked in here if you need it. I'm gonna hook all this up and I'll get that set for you. And so if all of a sudden your van starts talking to you like we heard before, chair not locked, chair not locked, that means somebody's hit that red button at some point and triggered this back again. You'll just need to take a little bolt or something stronger than my finger at that angle to get that to lock back. And but again, all you do is simply slide it in here, and you're just going to push this forward. This is just a really awkward angle for my finger, and I can't do it. So there we go. So that's locked. So now it's not going to talk for you. And so as long as it's like this, then this is going to stay on, and it won't talk every time you turn the van on. So we'll flip the chair back up. This again, it just goes here at the wall. It only goes one way. Screw these in, and once that's hooked up, put this little cover on. Sorry for the shaky video. It kind of takes two hands to do this with. So I'm going to leave it there until I have two hands. so this button here, like on the other side here, this button here, or I just simply pull the handle. That closes that door up. You do have your parking sensors, backup camera, and everything on the back. If you take this chair out and you're going to use the Easy Lock, these, you'll see when you take the chair out, there's two little channels in there that have little anchors on them that these will actually clip into. And this just gives you a nice flat floor so that when you're driving in and out, you're not having little holes to run over every time you go in there. So again, if you've got the front passenger's chairs out, you will use these. Otherwise, you won't ever use them. Spare tire is going to be under here. All the tools and stuff are in there. These seats will fold down. I believe the handle is here that flips them forward. So what you can do is you can pull there and lay them down, pull here and flip them up. Just gives you, if you're trying to store something, carry something, anything like that. But I do want to show you something here. That is your control module for all the mobility stuff. Really no reason you should ever need to be in here. If you ever need to open this up, there's a wing nut here that you take off. There is a reset button in there, so sometimes if the battery goes dead, you put a new battery in it, something like that, you do have to go through there and hit that reset button. But it's very rare. But I'd just like to let people know where that's at, just in case they ever do need it. But again, you can fold them down, give you that storage space. Again, I tend to like these folded down. What happens is when you fold these up, you can't really see out the back end very well. So if you don't have anybody right in the back, you just flip these forward. So your power button for it is right there. But overall, that's how everything works. If you have any questions, just give us a call. Owner's manuals are there. There's a tremendous amount of information on YouTube. That's where this video will be. It'll be there, you know, forever. So anytime you need to go back and watch something, it'll still be there. So thanks again, and enjoy your van.